Hey guys, it's Ravenhawk6910 reporting once again. So I wanted to take a few minutes to show you guys some of the things that I got from the NMRA show that happened down in Cartersville, Georgia over the weekend. And this was my first train show that I went to in about 5 years, and I had a really good time at that show. So I'm going to take a few minutes and show you guys what all I got, and yeah, let's just go ahead and get started. There's a lot of stuff to go through. Now, I will say, I didn't get any O-scale stuff at this show. I mainly got HO. And the reason for that is because I just didn't have the money. There were some O-scale pieces that were there that I did really want. For example, one seller had a beautiful MTH Rail King Central of Georgia Nancy Hanks 2 passenger train with a couple of EMD E6s for power. I would have loved to have come home with that set, but I just didn't have that kind of money. There was also a guy who had an O-scale 2-rail Seaboard Airline Baldwin Centipede there. There were also a ton of really cool layouts set up there as well. North Georgia Modurail was there. The N-Scale Club was there. I believe they're from the Athens, Georgia area. But yeah, just a lot of really cool train layouts set up. And yeah, that Centipede was running on the 2-rail layout that they had there, and the guy was trying to sell it as well, but he wanted $1,500 for it, which was fair and justified. I just didn't have $1,500 on me, so maybe someday I'll get myself a Centipede. We'll see. But for now, let's go ahead and check out what I did get my hands on. Alright, so now we'll go over some of the models that I got at the show, and some of these do have their boxes. I just left them out just to make it a bit easier. But we'll go ahead and start with the only DCC and sound equipped model that I got. And that is right here. This is the Intermountain SD40-2W Canadian National 5334 in the Expo 86 scheme. Now, I've got the Expo 86 covered hopper that matches this, also from Intermountain. So it was nice to find this thing, because when you find it on eBay, the price is usually jacked up really high. So, very happy to have gotten that engine. Next up is this brass Milwaukee Road Twin Cities Hiawatha coach from Nickel Plate Products. This was a pretty cool find, honestly. Probably one of my favorite pieces that I got. Now, when I got it, it did not come with any couplers. It had the screws there, but it did not have the couplers themselves. Luckily, a seller at the show had Kadee couplers for sale, so I just got these. These are number 5 Kadees. Stuck them on there just fine, and now the car is ready for service, and it looks really cool. Now, it came painted, but it did not come lettered. I don't know if I'll correct that. Eventually, we'll see, but honestly, I kind of just like it as is. Next up is this General Electric E60CF that I found. And it's painted up for this guy's railroad, the Atlantic and Great Western. It's kind of in a Northern Pacific-inspired scheme. I actually had an E60CF years ago, painted up for the Black Mesa and Lake Powell. But, yeah, let's just say I ended up butchering that thing in a custom project attempt that failed miserably. So, but this sucker, it's a dummy unit, and I only paid $5 for it. So, for $5, I'll gladly add another E60 back into my collection. So, kind of redeeming myself from when I destroyed that first one. So, either way, really glad I picked this engine up. Next up is this Athearn Blue Box Rio Grande SD40T-2 tunnel motor. Now, I got this just strictly because I wanted to have something to build. It doesn't have all the handrails with it, unfortunately. I will need to find some more handrails. But, you know, it was really nice just to sit down here and build a couple of models. And I had another model as well that I built that I'll discuss in a minute. But yeah, it was just really kind of therapeutic just to sit down and build this thing. So, very glad I got this thing. Next up is a really unusual piece. This is a custom-made Norfolk and Western / Norfolk Southern Trainmaster slug. Now, this was built using an Athearn Blue Box H1666, excuse me. Trainmaster. And just like on the prototypes, the N&W had these from the Wabash, and I think the Virginian as well. However, they retired them fairly early on, and they converted a bunch of them into yard slugs. And these actually lasted up into the Norfolk Southern era. So that's what was started with this one, and the person who started it never finished it. So I'm going to see if I can finish it up. It is missing one of the poles right there. You can see right there. It's missing one of the poles that are on the side. And it is missing a few little parts here and there, and it doesn't have any handrails. So, however, it's a good basis for a yard slug, and I really like it. So, and for $10, you can't go wrong. So that's why I decided to pick this thing up. Finally, the last of the engines that I got. This is a Rail Power Products EMD GP60B. And honestly, this locomotive is probably the one that I've gotten the most enjoyment out of building it. And you know, it's just cool. I've always liked the GP60B units. I just think they're so cool. Now, this doesn't have handrails, at least not yet. However, I did have some donor trucks and couplers to put underneath it from an old Athearn Blue Box GP60. And eventually I will paint this thing probably into the BNSF war bonnet, you know, with the red Santa Fe style lettering. So that'll probably be what will happen to this unit eventually, but yeah, I mean, I've just had a lot of fun just toying with this thing and putting it together. So yeah, it's just sort of therapeutic in a sense to build a model kit like this. And is it out of date? Sure it is by today's standards, but I really enjoyed making it. It was a lot of fun, and I've been having a lot of fun with this engine in general, so that's all that matters in the end, right? Alright, so now let's go ahead and get into the rolling stock. Now, from that same seller that I got the Expo 86 engine, I picked up this 3-pack of Walther's pulpwood flats. So, these are pretty cool. These are all Canadian Pacifics, as you can see. 3 different road numbers. And then also, I'll move this out of the way for now. I got these. These were freebies. Old issues of Railroad Model Craftsman. And check out that price tag. 50 cents in 1971. And then 60 cents in July of 1973. I gotta tell you, inflation is a cruel, cruel mistress. But those were cool. I always like little free things like that. Also from that same seller, I got this Canadian Pacific Walther's center beam flat. Older run, it has plastic wheels, so I'll have to fix that eventually, but that was pretty cool. A pretty good find in my opinion. Then some of my favorite finds that I got 4 of these suckers. These are from trucks and stuff. This is actually from the same company that made that little oxygen trailer that I got from Otter Valley Railroad. But these are Amazon Prime truck trailers. And I got 4 of these suckers. And eventually I'm going to stick these onto spine cars and just run them around with an intermodal train. But I've been seeing these Prime trailers a lot here recently on trains. And when I went out to La Plata, there was tons of them, plus Amazon Prime intermodal containers as well that were on trains. So finding 4 of these at the show, and they were $10 a piece. They had a set that had an Amazon truck tractor as well, but that was $18 compared to $10 for this. So it was a better value, in my opinion, just to get the trailers and go from there. So that's ultimately what I did. So those are pretty neat. I picked up 2 of them on the first day of the show, and then I went back and picked up 2 more on day 2 of the show. Next, I got this Atlas Trainman Family Lines Western of Alabama boxcar. Don't see a whole lot of stuff with the Western of Alabama patches on it, so that's why I opted to get this piece. Definitely a cool one. And then I also got this Athearn Ready to Run 65-foot Rio Grande mill gondola. Yeah, this is really cool. It's got the drop-ins on it, so It is a nice piece, and I got this from the same seller that I got the Rio Grande tunnel motor from. So that's pretty cool. And then I also, I'm actually wearing this right now as I record this. I got this Gainesville Midland baseball hat from, what's this company called? Let's see. It's here on the inside. Railroad Embroidery. So they had tons of hats and shirts and a bunch of other little fun things that you could get. So I saw this Gainesville Midland hat, and I just had to pick it up because that's my hometown railroad. So that's pretty cool. So I got that, and then I got a couple of other little things. Let me show you this. I've been needing a mouse pad for my computer here at my desk, so I found this Tennessee Central one, which is pretty cool. I like it. I like it quite a bit. Serves the purpose well. Got a nice picture of the 551 right there. But the biggest thing that I got at the show is right over here. This is hands down the biggest thing that I got. This is a locomotive number board that came out of a Southern Pacific SD45 T-2 tunnel motor. And I got this from the same seller that I got the Rio Grande tunnel motor and the Rio Grande mill gondola from. And this is really cool. It's a little grimy, but, you know, what do you expect? So, got this, paid a pretty good price for it for a number board. And I'll be hanging this up on the wall down here in the train room, and we'll be hanging it up with my other number boards. So, really cool piece to find. So yeah, that's just about all of it, really. And I have to say, for a 2-day train show, I think that was pretty good. I mean, it's certainly no York by any means, but I think I did pretty good. You know, I got some really cool stuff. I really like this Hiawatha coach especially. I mean, I'm a big fan of brass trains, but I'm also a fan of affordable brass trains, and that's definitely what this was. And I've been getting a lot of enjoyment building this GP60B as well, like I said. So that's going to be really cool to finish up eventually. And you know, the best thing was just going around and seeing people at the show. You know, I ran into my friend Frank Crow, who was set up there selling his paintings and prints. I ran into several of my friends from the Cowan, Tennessee area. And, you know, it was just really cool just to get to see people, you know, especially with all this stuff that's gone on with COVID and such. It was nice to just get out and socialize a little bit. So that definitely is good for mental therapy, for sure. So, anyways, that's all I have for you guys for right now. Be on the lookout for more videos in the future. I'm slowly getting things back to normal here, getting my groove back after the move. So it's just taking a lot of energy out of me to get everything going again. So, but once again, thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you guys in the next video, which might be another unboxing video. We'll see. You're just going to have to wait. Spoilers. Anyways, I will see you guys in the next video and down the road. This is Ravenhawk6910, signing off.